Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a unboxing video today. So we're going to unbox and also test the NSR GT40 in the camel livery. There's your serial number right there. So yeah, let's get it open and check it out. Yeah, so it looks great. I really like the livery on it. One of the reasons I did go with the camel livery was to basically match the other camel car I have. So I might start maybe collecting other camel cars as well. But yeah, also a fun little touch. It has red wheel nuts on that side, and then blue on this side. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, not much to go over in terms of the exterior. It's a nice looking model. So that's about it. So what we'll go ahead and do now is we'll go ahead and open it and check it out. So. Alright, so not really much to see here. If you've ever seen an NSR car before, it's, they're all kind of laid out very similar. As I said before, this is a Sidewinder configuration. It has 3 different holes for the magnet. The magnet does come pre-installed. I ended up actually taking it out. But yeah. They also come with grub screws to adjust the axle height. So they would go here and then also here. It does come with a little kind of spare tire. It is kind of flat spotted, so I think this is just more for scale, kind of scale effect than being usable. But yeah. So what I'll probably do is include a link in the description to the NSR kind of description page for this, like product page. So if you want to look at part numbers and things like that, you can do it right there in the link. So not too much detail to go over. What we'll go ahead and do now is compare it to the other NSR cars I have, just so you guys can see the difference between all 3 motor layouts. And then after that, we'll throw it on the track and see how fast it is. So here's all the NSR cars. You can see that the motors are actually all slightly different. So these 2 here are, I believe it's the same motor, just one is inline and one is angle winder. So it's the King 21 Evo. Whereas the GT40, not only is it a short can, it's a Shark motor. So it's Shark 21.5 it says. But yeah, so that's the difference with the motors. In terms of the actual chassis themselves, obviously the chassis are a little bit different. The GT40 and the NSR car, the GT40 looks slightly longer in terms of the wheelbase itself. You can see the wheel here is just a little bit further back from the 911, so it will probably handle a little bit better. This car I find is a little temperamental sometimes to drive. We can look at the actual official specs, but kind of by eyeballing it, it does look like this one is also wider than the 911, so it's going to be longer wheelbase wise and also wider from what I can tell. So the tires might hold it back a little bit, and possibly, I'm not sure if this motor is more powerful. It's probably less powerful. So these cars might be close. I'm thinking this one's going to be faster though. We'll find that out. We'll find that out obviously when we run it around the track. And then you have the Formula 1 car. Now this car runs great on the track. You can see it's the widest of them all. Sorry, the longest of them all. In terms of wheelbase, and yeah, I mean it's also pretty wide too in the middle of the chassis. But yeah, no, this car runs great around the track. I think out of the three, I think this one's still going to be the fastest. But again, we'll find out. But yeah, so I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and run it around the track and see how it does. But yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase. I mean, NSR cars generally are, top of the line. If you do any kind of research on the internet, you'll find that most people recommend NSR as probably like the top brand. So, so far I only have 3 since starting the hobby. I do have 2 more coming. I actually have another historical car coming, so that's going to be fun to test it against this one directly. And then I have the new McLaren 720S coming, so that's going to be a GT3 car, which I think will be quite fast. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be faster than the Formula 1 car, but I'm guessing it's going to be faster than the 911. The GT3 cars seem to have a nice wide body to them, a wide chassis to them, so they seem to handle very well. At least from what I noticed at the club, some guys do have GT3 cars already. So, yeah, get subscribed. You can check those cars out. They'll be coming. Hopefully, I have them by the end of the month. Both those cars aren't actually officially. They've been released, but I don't like them. I ordered it for Slot Car Union. They don't have them yet, so when they get them in, they'll obviously ship it out. So hopefully by the end of the month, I'll have it. But yeah, anyway, let's get to the testing.
Good.
All right, driving the new F40. So first thing I noticed right off the bat is it's definitely more tail happy than the other NSR cars. And that's going to come down, I think, mostly to the tires. We're in those historic tires that we treaded. So yeah, it is quite fun though. It definitely takes a little bit more finesse. The motor, this is my first short can motor. It seems to be very punchy. It has a lot of like low end acceleration. So it seems actually quite fast. I will probably try some different tires on this at some stage and see how that affects the handling. But it's quite a fun car, and I think if I was to keep the tires on and pick up another historical NSR car, it'd be probably a good match. Alright, so after 10 laps, the Ford GT40 finds itself in 8th place on the leaderboard. So it's about 3/10 back from the NSR 911, which honestly isn't bad. A lot of that's probably going to come down to the tires. The car is very tail happy, whereas the 911 definitely has more grip. So I also crashed a few times with the GT40, whereas with the 911, generally I don't really crash that much with it. So I think the next thing we'll do is swap the tires. I can maybe just take the wheels off the back of the 911 and put them on the Ford GT40 and see how that goes. But honestly, I really enjoyed the car. It was quite fun to drive. I do have, as I mentioned before, I do have another historical car coming. So I think when I have multiple cars with those treaded tires, it could make for some good close racing. But in terms of all-out lap time, it's obviously slower. But overall, yeah, I definitely recommend the car. It's great. It was a lot of fun to drive. I did test it briefly with the magnet, um, and that was my first time driving an NSR car with a magnet, and it's completely different. It transforms it. It has tons and tons of grip, obviously, because of the magnet. So if you're into magnet cars and magnet racing, it's definitely great, and the tires don't hold it back with the magnet in. So, but thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.